Going through a depression can be scary. You are probably wondering where to cut corners and how to make your dollar stretch longer, especially with prices hiking at every turn and your money constantly depreciating. But a depression is not new, and there are things generations from before did that can help you navigate this time. Number 10. Stay out of debt. The last thing you want to do when you are not sure if you can pay the rent is having some debt hang over your head. You might be tempted to take out a loan during this time to make ends meet, but unless it is your only option, you might want to consider something else. Interest rates go up and everybody is looking for a bailout. Most financial institutions take advantage of that time too. Try to pay off whatever you can in good time. Another way to stay out of debt is to pay for everything in cash. Buying on credit might be convenient, but it keeps you in debt. People who have lived through a depression will tell you of the importance of having cash and only paying for what you can afford. If anything is out of your budget, then you can't have it during this time. A budget will also help you live within your means and keep track of your spending. You can't afford to be ignorant about your financial standing in a depression. Number 9. Share with your community. A depression serves as a good time to rely on your ride or die squad. Generations before would share everything they had, and because everybody understood the times, it was easy to support each other. They didn't frown on hand-me-downs, whether those were clothes or school supplies or kitchen hardware. If there is a book your friend recommended, don't rush to buy it when you can borrow it from them. If you or your neighbors are into farming, try to trade with them for food. People of old got along with barter trading, and you can too, even if it's only for a time. Get some potatoes in exchange for your eggs. Everyone will get what they want without having to stress over money. If you made a meal that is more than your little family can eat, consider sharing some of the leftovers with your neighbors since times are hard for everyone. They will also return the favor when they can. The depression also serves as a great time to start carpooling. Instead of hiring a nanny, get some of the older kids in your neighborhood to help you out. You can survive the depression if you maximize your resources, and kindness goes a long way in achieving that. Number 8. Tap into your creativity for fun. Forget going to the cinema every week and renting out an Airbnb for your birthday parties. When you are navigating the depression, you need to think outside the box on how to keep yourself entertained and save money. If you can't watch the new releases, have a throwback to your favorite series that you've collected over time, like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. Plan to have your parties at home too. They don't need to be extravagant for you to have fun. A simple picnic on the beach or themed game night will give you all the same feels a night out in the most expensive hotel would have accomplished. Find new hobbies that don't require you to part with a lot of money. Start a book club in your neighborhood or a photo blog with just your phone. Most people who went through a depression were always surprised to discover untapped potential. Some found that they could write interesting stories, and others became more interested in cooking. You never know what you can do till you're in a situation where what you are used to has to change, and a depression can be a springboard for your new revolutionary ideas. Number 7. Don't be quick to throw anything away. Waste takes on a new meaning in a depression. Things that you were so quick to throw away can be reused as something else. Before you throw away torn clothes or broken appliances, try to repair them. This will cost you less than having to buy something completely new, especially when you have very little disposable income. Learn how to sew so that you can mend your clothes and make new pieces with old clothes. Add a bit of water to your shampoo and liquid soap when they are almost done so that you can use them for longer. When the bottles are empty, clean them thoroughly and use that as containers for something else. It might be for soap that you've made yourself. You can also reuse old newspapers or magazines as wrapping paper for your gifts. If you have outgrown anything, you can hand them down to someone who will use them so that they can also save money. Don't throw away leftovers too. Play with some spices and make your own leftover recipes. If you truly want to get rid of your items, first try to sell them online or at a garage sale so that you get some money for your trouble. Number 6. Make extra income. Your usual income may be insufficient during a depression, and you might need to supplement it. Generations that lived through a depression say that they had to take on jobs they never thought they would have just to survive. This means that you might have to take on extra shifts or work overtime for that extra money. If you can take on a side hustle, maybe tutoring or childcare, then you should. Think of this as something for only a time. Some people have gone on to make a career out of the passions they found during a depression. You could also freelance on sites like Contra, Upwork, and Fiverr. Some sites will also pay you for your hobbies, listening to music, watching series, or your photos. The goal during a depression is survival. and that may take on many forms. Number 5. Make use of the sun. You can cut costs on utilities by making use of the sun. Rather than using your microwave, put your frozen foods in the sun to defrost. Of course, that means that you will need to do it much earlier than 15 minutes before you need to make your meal. If the weather is nice, you can hang your clothes out to dry rather than using your dryer. You can also air dry your hair so that you are not using the blow dryer every morning. This is good for your hair too, since it won't be under too much direct heat. The sun is also a good source of vitamin D, so rather than staying cooped up in your house, take a walk and soak up the nutrients while getting some exercise and enjoying some great sights. If you've got good windows, there's also no reason to have your lights on when the sun is out. You should also stock up on solar-powered gadgets, if you can, so that you don't have to pay high bills for electricity. Number 4. Save on resources. Our lives are made more convenient by different utilities: piped water, electricity, internet, vehicles, and more. When you look into the cost of each, it's easy to find yourself drowning during a depression. However, you can be smart about how you use your resources so that you save up. You don't need to wash your clothes after every wear. If you are home and not doing physically demanding tasks, then you can get away with wearing the same clothes for a few days before you wash them. You don't need to use the dishwasher for a single cup and plate either. Make sure you turn off the lights whenever you leave a room. You can also have a central home appliance, like a single TV and a single refrigerator, to minimize how much electricity you use on multiples. Get a data plan that works for you so that you are getting the most out of your money. You also don't need to take your car out for simple errands. Instead, you can walk there or use a bike. This is good for your health, your pocket, and the environment. Thrifting will also help save your money. You can find some good quality pieces at secondhand shops. Make sure to browse the stores before you make a purchase so that you get the best for your money. Number 3. Save every penny. Every little bit piles up, and you can see this with money. $1 saved every day will amount to hundreds by the end of the year. It's easy to look at small amounts of money and neglect them, but you shouldn't. Take inventory of where you spend your money. It doesn't matter if it was a quick snack or a cheap toy. Keep track of your spending and see the things you can do without. Do you really need to buy that candy when you go? Or those scented candles? This also applies to your subscriptions. You need to hold your money close to your chest in a depression. Even though it seems like a negligible $10 a month, it will grow into a huge amount by the end of the year. Cancel the subscriptions you don't need and save the money. Give up your frivolous spending and your guilty pleasures. Don't get rid of your change either. Put your coins in a tin or a piggy bank. You will be amazed at how much you can save, even during a depression. Number 2. Stock up on food. Food is the most essential need for any human. Even without a depression, a sizable portion of your income is spent on food or something food-related. It is also the first thing to go in the middle of a crisis because everyone else will be stocking up on food. Buy canned food and dry goods like flour, cereal, and potatoes. During the Great Depression, most people learned how to preserve their food for longer. This could be sun-drying, fermenting, salting, or simply freezing your different goods. Get those glass and mason jars and put away some of the things you are fond of eating. Of course, you can't afford to be picky in a depression, but it always helps if you have your favorite jam to look forward to at some point in the week. Cut out how often you have meat-based meals, since these will cost more. Learn to make meals with few ingredients. Your grandparents probably have recipes that will give you all the spice and flavor without taking money out of your pocket. Before we get into number 1, make sure to check out the links in the description for our best recommendations to boost your savings. Number 1. Do it yourself. If you've got your hands in great coordination, then you are better off doing things yourself. This means a lot more in a depression because you get to save everything you would have spent on outsourcing the help. This means cooking food for yourself. It doesn't have to be as elaborate as the meals you would get at a restaurant. All you need to do is survive until the end of the depression, where your life will sort of go back to normal. Think of having your own garden too, so that you don't have to spend plenty of money on groceries. You don't need a large spot to start. All that matters is that you have something for your family to eat. There are other little things you can do around the house by yourself, like fixing the light bulbs and painting your main spaces, mow your lawn, and clean your own windows. You can also learn to make your own soap and shampoo so that you are not spending on cleaning equipment. A clean space will take your mind off the depression as well and help you plan better. You can also take care of your appearance without the help of a salon. Cut or style your own hair. Give yourself a manicure or pedicure and do your own makeup. If you're not sure how to start, you can find tutorials online from vlogs and blogs.